All right, let's talk about something you probably have in your fridge right now, the omega-3 egg. We're going to crack open the science behind it, and you'll see pretty quickly why not all omega-3s are created equal. So, you're at the grocery store, right? You see that label, omega-3, and you think, great, this is the healthy choice. We all do. But what if I told you that the type of omega-3 is what really matters? It makes all the difference.
Yeah, believe it or not, the secret to getting the right kind of these essential fats might be hiding in plain sight right in your breakfast. This is actually a story about a whole scientific quest to perfect something as simple as an egg.
Okay, so before we get to the really cool solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it all starts with what we can call the omega-3 dilemma.
All right, so here's the deal. Omega-3s are what are known as essential fatty acids. Essential just means our bodies can't make them from scratch, so we absolutely have to get them from our food. And there are three main players you need to know: ALA, EPA, and DHA.
And this is where it gets really important. ALA, which you'll find in plant-based stuff like flaxseed, is, well, it's mostly just used for energy. Think of it as basic fuel. But DHA and EPA, oh, those are the superstars. They're the ones your brain, your eyes, and your heart are practically screaming for to work right. DHA especially is the one that actually builds up in these critical spots, doing all the heavy lifting for things like memory and heart health.
So the obvious thought is, okay, I'll just load up on flaxseed, right? Well, here's the catch. Our bodies have to take that ALA and try to turn it into the good stuff, the DHA. And it turns out we are terrible at it. Just awful. The conversion process is so bad that you end up with only a tiny amount of that superstar DHA.
This huge inefficiency got scientists thinking, what if we could kind of biohack our breakfast? What if we could get a common food to do the hard work for us? And that's what led to the whole idea of the designer egg.
This is a perfect example of what's called a functional food. The idea is that food isn't just about protein and calories. We can actually design it to deliver a specific health benefit. In this case, a powerful dose of the right kind of omega-3. And, well, the humble egg was the perfect candidate for the job.
So, where did they start? The first attempt was a pretty logical one. They focused on a really common source of plant-based omega-3s, leading to what we'll call the flaxseed method. The plan seemed simple enough. Feed flaxseed to the hens, let them do the conversion from ALA to DHA, and then they'll pack that DHA right into the egg yolks for us. And it kinda worked. I mean, the ALA levels in the eggs went through the roof. But surprise, surprise, hens are just like us. They're not very good at that conversion process either. So you got a lot of the meh omega-3 and not much of the good stuff. And to top it all off, when they upped the dose, the egg started to get this weird, fishy taste. Not exactly what you want with your morning coffee.
Okay, so the flaxseed method was pretty much a bust. Back to the drawing board. The scientists figured, hey, if the conversion is the problem, let's just skip it. Why not give the hens a direct source of DHA? And that brings us to our next chapter, the fish oil problem.
So they cut out the middleman and started feeding the hens fish oil, which is packed with DHA. And guess what? It worked. The DHA content in the eggs shot way up. The conversion problem was solved. But that fishy off flavor, it came back with a vengeance. It was 10 times worse. I mean, even with just a tiny bit of fish oil in the feed, the taste was just no, totally unacceptable. It was another dead end.
All right, this is where the story takes a really clever turn. The researchers were getting super frustrated. They'd hit these taste roadblocks twice. But then they had a breakthrough, and it all came from asking one very simple question. And that question led them to the algae advantage. So here it is, the big aha moment. Fish don't just magically create DHA out of thin water. They get it from what they eat. And what's at the very bottom of that food chain? Algae. The scientists realized, wait a minute, fish oil is just a middleman. It was time to go straight to the source.
So they started feeding the hens a diet of microalgae. And jackpot, it solved everything. They could pack the eggs with huge amounts of DHA. We're talking up to 200 milligrams in a single egg. And the best part? Absolutely no fishy taste. Plus, the algae had this extra bonus. It's full of natural antioxidants like carotenoids, which helped keep those good fats stable. This was it. The elegant, perfect solution they've been looking for.
Okay, so that's a cool science story, but what's the actual payoff? What does this all mean for you and me? Well, it means the creation of a nearly perfect breakfast food.
So let's really put this into perspective.
We know we need that good DHA for our brains, our hearts, our eyes, but how much of a difference can a couple of eggs really make?
Okay, get this. The European Union's food safety experts recommend getting about 250 milligrams of EPA and DHA every day for good health. If you eat just 2 of these algae-enriched eggs, you get 278 milligrams of DHA. Boom, you've hit your daily target before you've even finished your first cup of coffee. That's how powerful this is.
You know, what this whole story really tells us is that old, hard line between food and medicine, it's getting really, really blurry. We're stepping into this amazing new era where our food, our everyday groceries, can be precision-tuned to boost our health in super specific ways.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful thought to chew on, doesn't it? It's not just about avoiding bad food anymore. It's about actively seeking out food that's been designed to make us better. It really makes you ask the question, is my breakfast just fuel to get me through the morning, or could it be the first dose of medicine I take all day? Definitely something to think about next time you're standing in that grocery aisle.